Akpabio's wife sues Natasha for defamation, demands 250 billion naira in damages. Rivers government sues for calm, studies judgment as APC hails verdict. Kaduna court remands 2 students over killing of fellow student. Congo and rebels trade blame for deadly blast at rally. Hello, welcome to the news update on Trust TV. My name is Hawa Gambo. Thank you for joining us. The wife of the Senate President, Unoma Akpabio, has filed separate lawsuits against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan at the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja over alleged defamation and violations of fundamental human rights. The legal action follows recent claims by Akpoti-Oduaghan, who represents Kogi Central, that her troubles in the Senate started following her refusal to have a sexual relationship with the Senate President. In the first suit of fundamental rights violation, Akpabio accused the senator of making false and scandalous statements that caused emotional trauma for her and her children, leaving them in fear of their lives. Akpabio is also seeking 250 billion naira in compensation and a perpetual injunction to stop Akpoti-Oduaghan from making further damaging claims. In a separate defamation suit, Mrs. Akpabio challenged the senator's claim that her husband made sexual advances towards her. She described the allegations as false, malicious, and damaging, saying they had brought her family into disrepute and public shame. The Rivers State government has stated that it is awaiting a comprehensive briefing on the implications of the Supreme Court judgment regarding state allocation and local government administration. In a statement on Friday, the Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, said the government will thoroughly assess the situation upon receiving detailed information before deciding on the next course of action in the best interests of the state and its residents. He urged the people of Rivers State to remain calm and law-abiding and continue their daily activities while their government seeks further clarity on the ruling. Johnson, however, clarified that the issue of defection of the 27 lawmakers was not a matter before the Supreme Court, as it is currently pending before the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt. He emphasized that in the context, Martin Amahuele and the 26 others were still seen in the eyes of the justice as lawmakers. The Commissioner reaffirmed the Rivers government's commitment to upholding the rule of law and protecting the state's best interests in all matters. The All Progressive Congress APC in Rivers State has welcomed the Supreme Court's judgment nullifying the local government council elections held on October 5th and ordering the re-representation of the 2024 budget. In a ruling delivered by Justice Jamilu Tukur, the Supreme Court declared the election invalid due to gross violations of the Electoral Act. In a separate judgment on Friday, Justice Emmanuel Akomaye dismissed the cross-appeal filed by Governor Similayo Fubara, challenging the legitimacy of the House of Assembly led by Martin Amahuele as Speaker. The Apex Court directed Amahuele to resume sitting immediately with others elected members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. It mandated Fubara to re-represent the 2024 appropriation bill to the Amahuele-led Assembly. Reacting to the rulings, APC Publicity Secretary in Rivers, Chibike Ikenga, hailed the Supreme Court's decision, which he said represents a victory for the people and a step towards the entrenchment of democracy in the state. The Community Court of Justice, ECOWAS, has dismissed the case filed against the federal government of Nigeria on the assassination of the late Kudirat Abiola, the wife of the winner of June 12, 1993 presidential election, MKO Abiola. The suit was filed by 3 members of the Abiola family, Khalifa Abiola, Moraim Abiola, and Hadi Abiola, who alleged Kudirat's right violations, Kudirat's rights violations while she was advocating her husband's release from detention. According to the applicants, the Nigerian government violated Kudirat's fundamental human rights by failing to hold her killers accountable, despite a commission of inquiry identifying a key suspect, Sergeant Barnabas Jabila, in its ruling delivered on Friday. The judge rapporteur, Justice Edward Amako Asante, stated that the applicants lacked the legal capacity to sue as they failed to establish a direct relationship with Kudirat or present any legal mandate to act on behalf of her estate. The ECOWAS court rejected Nigeria's objections regarding its jurisdiction, affirming its competence to hear cases involving alleged human rights violations by member states. However, the court clarified that its role does not involve acting as an appellate body over national court rulings. A Chief Magistrate Court in Kabalandoki, Kaduna State has ordered the remand of 18-year-old Marcus Kefas and 17-year-old Innocent Yakubu, both SS2 students of Government Technical College Malali, for their alleged role in the murder of their fellow student Ahmed Musa. Ahmed Musa, who was originally a student of Government Technical College Kajuru, had been transferred to Malali due to insecurity in his former school. Trust TV's Bella Musa reports.
6 suspects were brought before the court, but Kefas and Yakubu were identified as the prime suspects, accused of conspiring to kill Musa. 4 other individuals, Timothy Abba, 56, Joseph Ogoni, 41, Bulus Adamu, 42, and Francis Adamu, 48, all members of the Kaduna State Vigilance Service assigned to secure the school, were also charged with negligence and failure to report the incident to the authorities. Justice Nahid Ibrahim has scheduled the murder trial for April 8, 2025. The deceased's father, Musa Muhammad, is demanding that the Kaduna State government compensate the family with 560 million naira for negligence.
The police, custody, they were brought before the magistrate court of the state at Kabalandoki. So what the judge said, she mentioned all the allegations against them.
Ahmed Musa was the only child of his mother, Maria Abdullahi, who collapsed after the court proceedings. His body was discovered tied up within the school premises. Bella Musa, Trust TV News.
A leadership crisis is unfolding within the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) following its convention in Abuja on Thursday, as 2 factions lay claim to victory. At a post-election press conference, Comrade Atiku Abubakar asserted that he emerged as the new NANS president, disputing an earlier declaration by Olushola Oladoja, who also claimed to have won the election. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman has the report.
Factional president of the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS), Comrade Abubakar Atiku, has accused his rival Olushola of attempting to disrupt the election through violence, claiming that only the intervention of security agencies prevented chaos.
As at the time we were to grant the press conference and the press release with the SUG president, an unknown entity in the name of Olushola Ladoja, came with gun in the daytime in the presence of security operations. That's why we are thanking the DSS for not bringing him down. But they disarmed him and he ran away with his thugs who came. So that was the reason why I will ask the other SUG presidents who are precious to us to go so that we grant this press conference.
Efforts to obtain a reaction from the opposing faction were unsuccessful. However, Comrade Abubakar urged students nationwide to dismiss Olushola's claim of victory, insisting that it contradicts the constitutional guidelines of the Students' Union as well as the established zoning arrangement.
NANS has a very unique history of continuity. Comrade Usman Barambu handed over to the outgoing president of NANS in the person of Comrade Pedro Obi, who declared the convention open that elected us as the new leaders of NANS.
Flanked by some of his factional executive members, Comrade Abubakar also demanded that the senior special assistant to President Bola Tinubu on youth affairs provide accountability regarding the buses allocated to ease students' transportation challenges following the removal of fuel subsidies. Additionally, he called on telecommunications companies to reverse the recent hike in tariffs, citing the financial strain on students. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
A fire has razed down a section of the Ago Medical Center on Ago Palace Way, Okota in Lagos State. The fire, which started around 8:30 p.m., destroyed a section of the one-story building which housed the hospital. Both nurses, doctors, and some patients who were in the hospital at the time of the incident scampered to safety. The Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Olufemi Damilola Oke Osanyotolu, said the agency arrived at the scene around 8:45 p.m. He said preliminary investigations conducted by LASEMA's Eagle Response Team revealed that the immediate cause of the inferno was electrical surge, which led to a spark when public electricity was restored. And now let's move to other stories. The Katsina State Hizba Board has directed all private schools across the state to shut down services for the month of Ramadan. The government-backed institution responsible for enforcing Sharia law by Islamic principles, however, warned that non-compliance will not be tolerated. The Commander General of the board, Aminu Usman, who disclosed this in a statement issued on Thursday, stated that the decision was aligned with the state government's directive. While urging school proprietors to strictly comply with the directive, Usman maintained that the closure is to allow pupils to fully observe the Muslim fasting period. Prices of essential food items have been slashed at a Ramadan fair in Kano to make life easy for residents during the fasting period, which commenced this Saturday. The fair is an initiative of Market Association's chairman with support from the Kano State government. Datti Ahmed completes the report.
Prices of food items like rice, flour, sugar, beans, noodles, cooking oil, and many others are relatively cheaper at the fair compared to what is obtainable in the market. The organizers said the idea is to ensure that the discount gets to the end users because retailers may only aim to maximize profits during the period. A resident Aisha Kyauta said she got a discount of between 10 and 15% on item purchased.
Honestly, the prices are lower than how they are sold in the market. There is difference of about 10 to 15%. It is cheaper here than in the market. I bought Indomie, spaghetti, and a bag of Dangote sugar.
Musa Umar, another resident, said he bought a bag of sugar at 79,000, which is not offered elsewhere.
Alhamdulillah, the products are cheaper than how they are sold in the market, such as sugar, rice, and spaghetti. The prices are lower than what they are outside, although I don't know how they are sold in the market. Here, I bought sugar for 79,000, rice for 76,000, and spaghetti for 15,200. They are all for Ramadan. Prices have been slashed. I bought rice for 75,000. Outside, it is sold for 85,000. I bought spaghetti, Indomie, and a carton of groundnut oil for 70,000. When I calculated King's 5-liter oil cost 18,000 naira, while outside it is cost between 19,500 and 20,000. We thank government for bringing about this price reduction.
A trader, Omar Basiru, said a mudu of beans is sold at 2,500 as against 3,500 at the Dawano market.
You know how things are. It is good for some people and bad for others. The price of a bag of beans here is 95,000 naira, while at Dawano it is 100,000.
Sellers of perishable items are also recording increased patronage at the fair. The state government facilitates transportation of the food items as well as provide security as part of its contribution. Ahmad Datti, Trust TV News, Kano.
The price of dates has significantly dropped after a recent sharp increase, according to a market survey conducted to assess the fluctuation. This drop has come as good news for most buyers as the Ramadan fast commenced on Saturday. Here's the report.
Despite being an all-season fruit, dates in Nigeria are mainly imported from Algeria and Niger Republic. The fruit, highly recommended in Islam for breaking fast, sees a surge in demand during Ramadan, often leading to price hikes. Last year, a measure of dates is sold for 3,500 naira to 4,000 naira. This year, prices spiked to 7,000 naira, but have now returned to the previous range, with traders attributing the drop to the reopening of borders. And I sell dates. These dates are imported from Algeria. Previously, we sold a measure for 7,000 naira, but by God's grace, the price has now dropped to 5,000 naira. Last year, around this time, the price ranged between 3,000 naira and 3,500 naira, meaning we have seen an increase of 1,500 naira to 2,000 naira this year. Prices of goods have generally gone up, but things are improving. Our biggest challenges are exchange rate fluctuations and the numerous levies imposed by customs and security agencies. They set up checkpoints along the highways, demanding money before allowing us to pass. We pray for an end to this hardship and urge our leaders to intervene. People are suffering and the masses don't know what to do. Dealers cite foreign exchange rates, multiple taxation, poor road networks, and fuel subsidy removal as major challenges affecting their business. Some sellers anticipate further price reduction in the coming weeks. The price of a measure of dates is now 6,000 naira. We sell to both consumers and traders. Our biggest challenge is transportation costs. The price is cheaper compared to what it was before. Our biggest challenge is the road network and border restrictions. Sometimes we have to take hidden roads to avoid security checkpoints. The poor road conditions, especially in Taraba State, make things worse. Vehicles often break down, causing delays and extra costs. When bringing goods from Niger, we pass through Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, and Gombe. But once we enter Taraba, the challenges increase significantly. 100 naira's worth of dates now gives you 6 pieces, whereas before it was only 3 pieces. Our main challenge is the high cost of fuel. We source our dates from Jibia in Niger Republic as the variety grown locally is different. The respondents called on the government to intervene and address these seasonal challenges and its impact on Nigeria's cost of living crisis.
And now, in the business scene, investors in Nigeria's stock market gained 91 billion naira on Friday to end the week on a positive note after days of bearish runs. Market capitalization, which opened at 67.12 trillion naira, closed at 67.193 trillion naira, gaining 91 billion or 0.14%. Similarly, the all-share index improved by 146 points or 0.14% to close at 107,821.39 compared to 107,675.46 posted on Thursday. On the price movement chart, 34 stocks recorded price depreciation against 24 gainers. Red Star Express led the losers chart, dropping by 9.96 to close at 6.60 kobo per share. Also, Learn Africa fell by 9.84% to close at 3 naira 30 kobo per share, while Multiverse Mining and Exploration dropped by 9.72% to close at 9 naira 75 kobo per share. On the activity table, Zenith Bank maintained the lead in volume and value of deals, exchanging 122 million shares worth 5.9 billion naira. And away from Nigeria, Democratic Republic of Congo's government and Rwandan-backed M23 rebels traded blame on Friday for explosions at a rally in rebel-held eastern city of Bukavu that killed 13 people and wounded scores. The finger-pointing over Thursday's incident has further inflamed tensions in eastern Congo, where a rebel advance this year has drawn in neighboring armies, raising fears of a regional war. Congo's army said Rwandan troops and rebels fired rockets and grenades into the crowd gathered on Thursday in Bukavu's central square for a speech by one of M23's leaders. Two witnesses said they saw an attacker try to fire a grenade at a convoy of rebel leaders but missed his target, instead killing people gathered at the rally. Bukavu residents volunteered on Friday to donate blood for the wounded after hearing blood stocks were depleted. A medical source said on Thursday the city's general hospital was treating 68 people for injuries. And now to sports. Six-time Nigerian Premier Basketball League champions Rivers Hoppers have been drawn to play in the Kalahari Conference of the 2025 Basketball Africa League season. In a bold statement released on Friday, the Kingsmen will play against FUS Rabat of Morocco, Egypt's Al Ittihad and Stade Malien of Mali from 5th to 13th April at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Sports Complex in Rabat, Morocco. Hoopers will play the season opener against Stade Malien at 4 p.m. GMT. The 2025 ball teams have been divided into 3 conferences of 4 teams each. Each conference will play in a 12-game group phase during which each team will face the other 3 teams in its conference twice. The top 2 teams from each conference and the 2 best third-place teams from across the 3 conferences will advance to the playoffs. Rivers Hoopers will be making their 3rd appearance at the 2025 Basketball African League. They featured in the inaugural season held in 2021 and last season's edition, where they finished 3rd. And with that, we come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us on all media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel for a constant live stream of programs and documentaries. My name is Hawa Gambo. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.